Hi, I'm doing something I don't normally do on this channel, which is talk. But I want to talk today because I won an award on TAS videos. As you can see here, Pico 8 Cycle 8 by Merle, Rylan, and High has won Exotic TAS of 2023. For every single platform or console or whatever that you can submit a TAS on, there's like an awards category for that. But there are so many like obscure and random platforms that for all the obscure ones, they just throw it all in a category called exotic. And Pico 8 is one of those weird categories, so it's an exotic TAS. And Pico 8 Cycle 8 won. And so to celebrate, I'm making this little video. I'm going to talk about the TAS, explain it, what's going on, and also a little bit about the process of making it, since I don't think the submission notes I made were particularly good. And also I just want to make a nice video to celebrate, because I'm really proud of this TAS. It was definitely the best one that I made in 2023. It was the highest rated one I made. It took the most work, at least of any of the ones that I finished. But I'm really proud of this, and I'm glad it won. I really am. I wasn't even expecting to get nominated, so thank you. So this is the tool-assisted speedrun. Right away, the first thing to say is that I'm doing a wheelie here. Basically, of the bike, it has two wheels, and only the one in the left can actually drive. The one in the front just basically does nothing. And so I tilt the bike back at the start to get the wheel on the ground as soon as possible. And then, and then I keep a wheelie in order to move as fast as possible and accelerate quickly and stuff. This slope, though, will bump the bike a little bit, and so I have to ride on the slope, and I can't keep a wheelie the whole time, but that's fine. I slow down a little bit there. That's unavoidable unless you get a bit more height off that slope, which I didn't. But I needed to manipulate my speed very carefully to land on this ledge here. Normally, you're going so fast that you'll just like die on the little slope bit there on the right. But by catching the back wheel on this ledge, the back wheel can't move, but the right side of the bike can. So it goes over the ledge and the bike starts spinning really fast. And so then I can drive off the ledge, and I'm spinning fast and I'm falling faster, and I can barely get by the slope without touching it. You can see the wheel is really, really close. Another thing is that I actually flip the bike here because braking isn't enough. If you brake, you'll just slide off the ledge. So I actually am driving in the opposite direction right now in order to keep the wheel in place. After that, I bounce here instead of driving on the ground, because when you bounce, you just get flung in the air and you don't have to accelerate. And then I hit the roof here, because normally you're supposed to go to the left, and if you drive off that sloped bit when you're in the air, you can't control your speed, so you end up drifting pretty far to the right, and then you have to drive back. So hitting the ceiling cancels all my speed, and then I can drive to the left and not have to, it saves time, like 0.2 seconds. I hold right into that slope, since now that I'm going to the left, this left wheel is still the one that drives, and so holding into the slope is faster. And then I also flip the bike around, because you can drive on any surface in this game. Walls, floors, ceilings. And so I'm driving on the ceiling here, I'm flipping the bike around in order to gain speed off the ceiling, basically. And then I bounce here, and then I tilt the biker as close to the flag as possible, because the level ends when the biker crosses the flag and not the bike. So angling the bike like this is the fastest way to finish the level. So this level is weird. You can't build up a lot of speed at the start because of this like speed bump, and then also the low ceiling. So I do a very small wheelie and then manipulate my angle and speed to land cleanly on this little bit here. Then I can get this jump. I hit this slope here just slightly. If I were to get a bigger boost from the slope, it would kill me. And then I hit the slope like right here so that it causes the bike to spin around, and that lets me get to the flag a bit quicker, because the biker needs to touch it early. So you might notice I'm not the only person who made this task. There are two co-authors, and he tasked the beginning inputs of this. A weird thing is that he used Celia and he didn't have fixed point mode on, so it shouldn't be accurate, but for whatever reason, the inputs he tasked for the start of the level are also working inputs on libtas. So it just worked out. And then I bump off both of these walls here and get a precise bounce off that slope to go into the flag. That is really, really hard. It's so much harder than it looks. This start is what Rythan tasked, because this start is actually like 0.2 seconds slow, but because this game is so precise, we can't use her middle inputs, the middle section inputs, if we don't also use her start, and her middle is very, very good. She gets a lot of speed on that ground right there. She bounces up this wall like really fast. And then she drives on the ceiling here, which is really precise. That flip's cool, and now everything from here is my inputs. So it's faster to go over the top of the level here, and then that bounce through the gap is really precise. If you look at it, like right here, see how like the bike barely even fits in this gap? It's ridiculously hard to squeeze in there. I actually found a faster way to do this level. Do you see the like top slope above the biker? You can bounce off that and thread the needle into the hole, and that's like 0.2 faster. But that was after the task was already published, so it's not in this one. So going up this like wall here is pretty difficult, especially to do quickly. And then the speed and angle needs to be manipulated like very carefully to land on this platform and build up speed. This flip here is actually not done for show. You actually have to do this flip in order to land on the platform. And then I just bounce to the end and do another thing like in level 2 where you bounce off the slope in order to get more rotation speed. This level has the most precise and annoying strat in the entire game. I guess I should explain this first bit. After I drive up these like slopes, I skip over that wall with a good bounce, and then I land on this and I bounce off it again, and I get a really high bounce, which means I have less distance to drive up the wall before I can get launched backwards. Then here, there's this most cursed part of the task. There's like a bajillion frame perfect inputs. If you look at the inputs for this section, it looks like randomly generated because there's just so much going on. Like all of it's necessary to manipulate everything just so that you can make that jump. It's so much harder than it looks. And you also need to be able to bounce off this slope and then make it all the way up to here and then have the wheel catch on the wall. It's insane. It is just ridiculous. But if you can do it, you can skip like a huge section. So that's a Psycho 8 TAS. It's pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the TAS. And to celebrate, in addition to making this video, I'm also going to make a new TAS, not a Psycho 8. If you scroll down though, there's all these older versions of the game. And this one, Psycho 0.5, I'm going to make a TAS of. This game is pretty cursed because you don't have like the up and down arrows to like accelerate and brake. Acceleration and braking is done with the arrow keys that you also use to turn. So it's terrible to control. It's really cursed, but it's also kind of funny. So yeah, you can look forward to that. Thanks for watching this. See ya. So there's an optimization